Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Mucedorus and we get to hear from the King of Aragon today in Act 1, Scene 3. Now the things that have happened so far, there was a bear and Mucedorus killed it, thereby saving Amandine, who's going to take him to the court to make sure that he is rewarded for killing said bear. She told him that she is the sole heir to the throne and then she's supposed to marry this guy Sagasto, who after they had left, Sagasto came in and he was like, oh my goodness, I'm such a coward, she's never going to forgive me. But then he talked himself out of that, and then he ran into Mouse, who he decided he would take on as his manservant. So Sagasto and Mouse have also headed off to court. So Act 1, Scene 3 with the King of Aragon, we are at court. We've got the king there, we've got his advisors there, we've got Colin, we've got Tremilio, we've got Sagasto and Mouse and Amandine, and there's this prisoner of war being brought in with them. So the whole train comes in and the King of Aragon kicks off the scene saying, "Now, brave lords, our wars are brought to end, our foes to foil, and we in safety rest. It us behooves to use such clemency in peace as valor in the wars. It is as great an honor to be bountiful at home as to be conquerors in the field. Therefore, my lords, the more to my content, your liking, and your country's safeguard, we are disposed in marriage for to give our daughter to Lord Sagasto here, who shall succeed the diadem after me and reign hereafter as tofore I've done, your sole and lawful King of Aragon. What say you, lordings? Like you of my advice?" So he's welcoming everybody. He kicks it off saying, you know, hooray, we're moving into a time of peace. And then he shifts and gets maybe a little personal, saying that it's good during peace times to procreate and, you know, build up your home, all that sort of thing. And he's like, to that extent, I would like to marry my daughter off to Lord Sagasto here, who will become the king after me, and he will reign, and he will be as good a king as I was. What does everybody think about that? And Colin says, yep, all good. And the King of Aragon is like, yes, this will be great, and he will be a good king. Oh, and in the meantime, Tremilio, take this prisoner to the Catalan and deal with him, but we might need him later, like for hostage exchange purposes, is sort of insinuated at. He's like, you know, take him in and keep him there until such time as we need him. And Tremilio is like, yes, we'll do. And everybody leaves except for the king and Colin. And the king says, you know, Colin, things are great, but I have a story to tell you, and at some point I'm going to tell you, and just be aware that when this happens, you need to be nearby or else things are going to get real bad. And Colin is like, yep, sure, absolutely, I'll be there. And that's the end of Act 1, Scene 3. So this looks like it's going to be all hunky-dory. We're in the court, we've got the king, it's peace times, everybody approves of the marriage of his daughter to Sagasto. Except Amandine doesn't really get to say anything in this scene, and we don't really know how she feels about Sagasto since he ditched her when the whole bear thing was happening. But we'll get to that later. But now also the king has some horrible secret that he's going to share with his trusted advisor at some point in the future because something bad could be coming. Dun, dun, dun. They did warn us in the induction. Comedy and Envy did warn us. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.